That's right. And trade friction, as we've been talking about, it's not just between the United States and China, but also Europe, Mexico, and Canada. Let's get more insight from Gary Cohen. He's a clinical professor of international business, global trade, and supply chain management at the University of Maryland outside of Washington. Professor Cohen, the two words that we've been really hearing the last few days, trade war. The entire world seems to be concerned about this, except President Donald Trump, who even last week tweeted trade wars are good and easy to win. We heard how China feels about it. And Germany's economic minister had this to say: Trump's policies are putting the order of a free trade global economy at risk. Anyone who's questioning this is jeopardizing prosperity, growth, and employment. Your reaction, sir?
Well, trade wars are not good. There are no winners at all. And in fact, I believe President Trump's fairly short-sighted in even looking at the impact to the United States. These tariffs are impacting numerous industry sectors, everything from automobiles to aerospace to energy, and it's going to drive up input costs. When you drive up input costs, prices go up. When prices go up, it makes us less competitive when we're looking to export these products. So this is a very interconnected system, and sweeping tariffs are not the solution. President Trump has said that he's going to clean up our trade deficit, and that would be great. Cleaning up the trade deficit's a good thing for the United States. However, doing it with the trade war is not the answer. You have to get more granular. You have to look at individual relationships with countries and address it that way.
President Trump says he's doing it to protect American workers. He says enough is enough when it comes to unfair trade practices. Professor, does he have a point?
I don't think so. I don't really think he's protecting that many American workers. Sure, there are some workers who benefit, but we have to look at the net effect. What's going to happen to workers in industries that are going to be hurt from these tariffs? So you have to look at the net impact, not just one element. They work together. So I believe it's the wrong approach.
U.S. allies like Mexico and Canada are apparently going to get a temporary exemption depending on how NAFTA negotiations go, maybe using some concessions as a bargaining chip. Do you expect Canada and Mexico to make any type of concessions at the negotiating table?
Hard to say, but and we've heard this a lot, that President Trump is imposing these tariffs as a bargaining chip, not just with Canada and Mexico in the whole NAFTA situation, but globally. And I don't think that's the way to negotiate. All we're really doing is driving a wedge in the relationship between the United States and our trading partners and allies. It's really not the right approach at all. But again, he has been doing all sorts of things that are unconventional, and this is just another one of those examples.
Professor Cohen, any recourse for the countries that are facing these hefty tariffs? Can they technically go to the World Trade Organization and file a complaint, and what happens then?
Well, they certainly can. Obviously, the U.S. is a member of the World Trade Organization, and President Trump exercised a piece in the Trade Act that says he's doing this for national security. And that will be his comment, that we did this for U.S. national security. I don't know how the World Trade Organization will respond, but I do believe this is not a good thing for U.S. citizens either. This is going to fuel inflation. It's going to raise prices. People will not be able to do as much with their disposable income. And this will permeate the world as retaliatory tariffs come into play. And by the way, the industries in the U.S. that are impacted by these tariffs that will make them less competitive, there are other industries that will be hurt by retaliatory tariffs, like the agriculture industry, which exports a tremendous amount of sorghum and soybeans, for example, to China. What will happen then to the farmers?
Good questions there. Professor Gary Cohen, thank you so much.